It is beyond anything I could have ever thought that would happen, and it's because the Naples Players is what it is, that we have this opportunity to do this as a family. So it's beyond words. Would you like me to start?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Dede Brownlee. I've lived in Naples since 1996, and I started with the Naples Players in 1997, auditioning for Anything Goes. That was my first show, and I've just been involved ever since in a variety of ways. And
I'm with Brownlee, I'm her son, and I first started, I think, doing Nutcracker Goes Pop when I was four.
Yeah.
And then my first real show was Frozen, and I've done like 4 or 5 shows since then.
I think Newsies, the last show, ignited a new level of, wow, this is really what I can do. We're very, very similar, and he just loves singing and dancing, and we are a family that loves karaoke, and he's just very musically inclined.
My favorite part probably be getting exposed to new ways or techniques or dance moves or stuff like that in the shows, and meeting new people who have helped me and been nice to know and good friends.
I actually always loved singing all the way through school, and I was in a play, this Christmas play, I think I was in 4th grade, and I was just like, this is so cool. And I always played in the orchestra, played piano and sang, so I just loved it, and it's just always been a part of my life. So I was really excited when I moved here to find the Naples Players, and we were just talking the other day, the very first show I saw was The Sound of Music that they were doing in 1997, and I thought, this is fantastic. And I became friends with a woman who played Maria, and we did a show, the next show we did together, and it feels like a little kismet that is the beginning, and now we are at the last show in this theater. It's been a wonderful balance of being able to do this here and continue with all of his school activities and his sports, and we have such great instructors that have inspired him and have taught him so much that it's just been this very seamless progression from kinder act, first act, second act, to doing performances and now doing an adult show. Luke actually was the one, he's like, I really want to audition. And I really hadn't thought about it. And I was like, well, if you're auditioning, then I'm going to audition for sure. I love the fact that he, for the first time, really instigated, let's do this. This time he was the one pushing me.
I was amazed when I got callbacks, but I remember I was in my school play and I was coming back from rehearsal, and I knew that they had said what the cast list was during the day, and I was so excited, and my mom told me that I had gotten in, and I freaked out. I was so happy.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience.
The joy is just, he was like, I'm Kurt. It was perfect. It's the part he wanted. And again, I wasn't really sure who Sister Berta was. I was like, oh, she's got a name. That's got to be good. And then I found out that she gets to sing How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria. And then to be in the show also with my niece, who is 14 and gets to be in our first adult show as well. It is beyond anything I could have ever thought that would happen, and it's because the Naples Players is what it is, that we have this opportunity to do this as a family. So it's beyond words.
Probably the biggest, most amazing memory was opening, but every show when we go to bow, I look back at my mom because she's one row behind me in the bow line to the a spot to the right, and then we just look at each other and then for 3 seconds, and yeah.
When the kids come out for their bows, the level of excitement of the audience just, we're getting a standing ovation almost anyway, and then the kids come out, and they're just incredible. And that first time he got his bow, And I thought I was gonna hold it together, and then he comes back and we showcase Rachel and Matt, and he looks at me and we catch eyes every time, and still it makes me cry. So proud. You know, he turned 12 right before the rehearsal started, and you know, when he's in middle school, even just from the last show to this show, I can see how much he's. I mean, first of all, I think he's grown an inch at least already in this show, but to watch him actually grow as a person, to grow into this young man, to watch how he interacts with John, with Charlie, with the other members of the crew, and how much fun he's having with cast members, not just the kids, but adults, and how he interacts with all different levels of people, whether it's age or whether it's the role they're playing. That has been just amazing to see.
Our relationship has definitely strengthened by this rehearsal process, just because with all the other activities like football and basketball and all the sports, and you playing golf a lot, like before, like we saw each other often, but it's not as constant like now, where it's 4 to 5 hours, 6 hours a day, basically every day, like
Pretty much.
for
3
4
months.
months. So it's helped a lot. So yeah.
I'm so grateful for this extra time with Luke. So normally I've been doing this for a long time, and it's always been, I have to say, for a 3-month period, a sacrifice not being able to tuck him in, you know, when he was smaller. So to be able to do this with him is incredible. We get to pursue our passions and we get to do it together. You know, we would go home sometimes and we need to practice the waltz. So we can practice the waltz together. I mean, when does that ever happen? You know, maybe when you're getting ready to get married or something. So to work together as colleagues, that's cool. Go ahead, honesty.
Well, I have to listen to every once in a while her like 50-year-old music, which is very unpleasant. That's a major downside.
I had to make sure, because I found myself maybe 2 or 3 times directing him or giving him notes, and I thought, you know what, you never give notes to another actor. It's just bad form. So I had to make sure, hey, I'm not going to do that. You have Dawn, you have Charlie. You're in amazing hands. So try to resist the urge to say, hey, you know, remember you have to do that. So I caught myself early on in the rehearsal process, like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him be the actor he would be if I wasn't here.
Well, it's a lot different to interact with adults, except other than all kids. But because of the environment, it's a lot the same. There's a big jump, but it's hard to come up with differences.
It's a well-oiled machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible to watch them learn at the same time. That's a lot to be teaching this many people at the same time. Then they would mirror each other and they would take turns. So it has been such an incredible process to watch, so that you have the ability to take 12 children now and expose them to this show, which is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a Von Trapp child.
Instead of getting to know 6 other kids a lot more, you get to know 12 more. So that's a fun part of it. For the Marias, certain things they do differently. So you find a way to react appropriately to the way they say their line or do this move or whatever. Or I've noticed, like, when I had to step in a couple days ago, there were certain things that Vienna did that were slightly different. Like, instead of maybe holding a hand on one, that you like locked arms, like. So little things that just you have to get used to. But yeah, it's just a really fun and exciting experience to have double casted.
I would say take every opportunity that's available to you. When I moved here, theater wasn't as big as it is now. So theater grows more theater. If you can do a play at school or get involved. But our Kids Act program, I've never seen anything like it. The fact that I think he was probably in a showcase, and I always thank Sharon True, another volunteer who inspired him. He did a 2-week showcase, and he got to be an Annie, and he got to play Rooster. And after that, he was kind of hooked. And it was 10 days. So there's always a place to find a class. So you can take a class that's, I think, maybe a week or 2 weeks. You can come and learn audition techniques. You can do Shakespeare. You can do dance classes. You can do, and all of these places. So even if you can come and volunteer, just to see what it's like, and as Luke said, get exposed to it, and think, you know what, you might want to be backstage one day. You might want to, work in the scene shop. You might want to be on stage. So getting any opportunity to see what's available to you, and just know you're in great hands. I would love to do Pippin with him. So he has the ability to grow into the part of Pippin, and there's some wonderful older women characters, which would be so much fun. So I don't know. It is interesting with our age, which parts would be available. But I think I love that show, and I think that would be great.
Okay. For mine, I would love to be Aaron Burr in Hamilton. I don't know what you would be. There's a lot of great female
Magic Wand.
characters.
Just Magic Wand. Just make me younger.
Can I make you a boy?
Sure.
Okay, Magic Wand.
I get to be
I was
Hamilton?
gonna say Hamilton, and I was like, oh, I have to shoot you.
One thing that I think is so awesome about this town and the Naples Players. So I found The Sound of Music. I went to see it. I thought, this is incredible. And then I did a show in the old theater, and that theater was then torn down, and this theater was built. And so I had to do the first show of that theater. And what was interesting is then I had my first son, and I took a little bit of a break over the years, and then he gets involved, and we get to do more musicals, and now we're doing the last show before they renovate this one. And I love that we have that potential to say, oh, well, maybe we need to do one of the first shows of the next theater, and we have to explore the space that we're using. And just to watch the evolution, not only of this community, Naples Players, how we're growing, but then our evolution as performers, and what, I love all those milestones. I love all those unique experiences that we can do now together.
My turn?
Sure.
Come audition for the summer shows.
Yes.
That's all I got.